This week's edition of NJBIA is Minding Your Business is brought to you in part by AT&T, helping family, friends, and neighbors connect in meaningful ways every day. By PSE&G, powering a future where people use less energy that's cleaner, safer, and delivered more reliably than ever. By New Jersey's community colleges, aligning education to build an innovative workforce. Find out how your business can benefit at njpathways.org. And by New Jersey Business Magazine, providing critical information needs for New Jersey's business community for more than 67 years.
Welcome to NJBIA's Minding Your Business. I'm Bob Considine. Well, there's a need for geographic information systems skills in many areas of New Jersey's workforce. And now there's a great way to fulfill it through the New Jersey Pathways Initiative. Here to discuss this exciting collaboration with New Jersey's community colleges are Hudson County Community College Dean Burl Yearwood and Middlesex County College Professor Claire Condie. Folks, thank you so much for being here. I cower in your intelligence already, so I'm going to get that out in the open. You guys are way more intelligent than me, and I appreciate you being here. And you also represent great schools, by the way. I think both schools are a real testament to the strength of New Jersey's community colleges. Claire, I want to start with you. Geographic Information Systems, GIS. What is it? I think folks hear that and they're not quite sure what it is.
Right.
Explain to the people what it is.
So GIS Information Systems, it's a computer system which allows you to store, display, and analyze geographic data that appears on Earth's surface. And still that definition probably doesn't resonate with most people.
Right.
But everyone's probably used their cell phones and used a mapping application.
Yeah.
So any map that you use or location finder, that's GIS.
Okay.
So essentially that's it. I explain it to my courses like it's a layer cake. The bottom of the cake would be your base map.
Right.
And then any information that you want to learn would be a layer that you'd add on to it.
Right.
So if you were moving into a neighborhood and you wanted to know about public transportation, county parks or school systems, each one of those would be a layer.
Right, I got
And then
you.
that layer comes with data.
Yeah, I remember we were speaking earlier. I used to work at the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and they had GIS maps for everything, it seemed like. But even like for trails and state trails, you can even have that. So it's pretty cool. Burl, let's talk about the workforce needs in New Jersey. Can you shed some light on that in terms of GIS, how it applies to the workforce needs in the state?
Happy to. So in general, the workforce needs of New Jersey is there's a need for skilled labor. We know that certain industries are growing and growing quickly, finance, technology, health, construction. But in these industries, they face a number of factors that make recruiting qualified workers challenging. There's an increased need for people who are familiar with technology as technology intrudes on every area. A lot of industries are finding that they're feeling the effects of the baby boom generation, where their most qualified people are starting to retire. There's also a drop in the population. And so the number of students coming out of high school is decreasing.
Right.
So faced with all of these factors, there is a dire need for individuals who are qualified, have the skills, familiar with technology. And so NJ Pathways is attempting to address that need by preparing students to be able to step into those positions.
Right, and Claire, what kind of careers are we talking about specifically for GIS?
All careers actually coalesce around data.
Right.
So any career that's focusing on data is going to need someone that is able to utilize GIS. So it could be in government with doing planning or engineering. There's a big push for what they describe as urban heat modeling now, how to cool down urban areas through different land use and land cover and green space. It could be in emergency response.
Right.
Last year we had the Jones fires in New Jersey.
That's right.
Those were used for emergency response, getting supplies to the area, but then also web-based applications where the public could see how much of the fire was contained. They could look at air quality alerts to see what was going on with those. Huge environmental component to it. We can track contamination, look for any types of runoff, education-wise, and then also supply chain management. What's the most efficient route to get products delivered? And efficiency is also cost-effective, but can be mindful of sustainability as well. So
I think the term here we're talking about is spatial, correct?
yes, spatial.
Spatial
Spatial analysis.
spatial relationships.
Yes.
And these jobs, are you training these folks for to create the programs, or to read the programs, or to manage the programs, or all of the above?
All of the above, based on the component that each college contributed to the project.
Okay. All right, so let's get into that. Specific focus of this GIS Pathway project. Maybe you could talk about, we'll start with you, Burl, what each school is handling as far as this project's concerned.
So for Hudson County Community College, our focus was the creation of a non-credit certificate. So this is a certificate offered through our wonderful Division of Continuing Education Workforce Development.
Right.
And so we developed this certificate after first identifying a need for these particular skill set. We talked to employers, we talked to businesses about what they were looking for. And one of the unique things about this particular certificate, even though it is an introduction to GIS, there is a focus on the construction industry.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
And so it's a unique GIS certificate because of that focus. And so students are able to come in. It's a shortened version of a certificate, so they don't need a full semester or 15 weeks. They can come in, earn the certificate, learn about GIS, but also learn about how GIS can be applied to the construction industry. And then once they graduate, they have a certificate that they can show to employers. And we also give them something where it shows what skills they learned in the course, because not all employers, they're going to look at a certificate and go, what is this? What does it mean? But if they're able to see the skills that the students learned, then it gives students a leg up.
I'm very curious about construction and how GIS applies to it. How does that work, briefly?
So, you know, what we found when we kind of went around and asked folks is, and we didn't realize this actually, that GIS had such a huge role in construction. But construction companies, they use GIS to find the best place to, for instance, run utility lines.
Okay.
They look at environmental factors.
Yep. That makes sense.
The topography of where they're going to either dig or build.
Right.
Because all of those affect not only the project, but the cost of the project. And so a lot of this actually just comes back to cost.
Yeah.
How are they going to save money? And if they've done a GIS analysis of the site, then it helps. Right. Then there are other factors. There's environmental remediation. They can use GIS for that. Supply chain management. How can they get, what's the most effective route to get equipment to the job site, to remove materials from the job site? So there are a lot of uses.
Yeah. And what about Middlesex County College, Claire?
So our certificate is a credit-bearing certificate.
Okay.
So we did the approach, we started top-down, working with Camden Community College, that we went out and we discussed it first with our industry partners. So we had a group of faculty that used GIS, were interested in it, but we wanted to make sure that the workforce needed students with this capability. So we met with our industry partners and we designed our certificate based upon their needs.
Okay.
So
wow,
we
that's
have
great.
so very
Involving
good.
industry is huge in this. Yep.
Just to make sure that our students have a pathway after they earn it. So ours is a 30 credit pathway. And when you read the recruitment and requirements for jobs in GIS, 30 credit hour equates to a 1 year of experience in the field.
Okay.
We also made it so the 30 credit could be embedded into an associate's degree.
Okay.
So
Wow,
which would
that's
not cause the students' education to be stalled
Right.
by earning more credits or credits that were outside of a degree itself. And then the third prong to our approach was we already have a computer programming certificate and a computer programming associate degree, and that would be to add the Introduction to GIS course
Right.
as a technical elective to what is already existing
Wow,
to
that's
get
great.
more exposure to the students.
Wow. Do you find students who don't know what they're going to do gravitate toward that
They're
course?
very interested. So
Yeah.
we tried, initial exposure was in our courses, just offering it as built into the lectures to get the feedback from the students.
Right.
Then we reached out to local government to find out if there was internship opportunities or projects that students could do real time
Yeah.
within the county to help with the local government.
It's funny you mention that because Middlesex County, I believe, has their own division of GIS.
Yes, they do.
It's perfect. They don't even have to leave the county.
Exactly. So right in their back door.
I'll ask this of both of you. What are kind of the real-time industry needs for GIS right now? Do you have a sense of how much this is needed?
Well, there's both in general and for specific industries.
Okay.
In our research for creating the certificate, again, although we focused on the construction industry, tangential to that, we also heard from environmental remediators that would like folks trained in GIS.
Right. We're talking LSRPs, license site
Yes,
remediation.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Because again, if they're going to, especially those who are removing toxins from the ground, they need to map the area first, be aware of what they're getting into before they start digging.
Right.
There's also the supply chain management. Where we're located, which is Jersey City, there are a lot of companies that deal in supply chain management. And so, again, for them, if they can analyze the route, analyze the data, they can make better choices.
Right.
So what we heard is outside of the technology field, which most people think of when we hear GIS, there are other industries that are looking for individuals who have skills in these areas.
What about enrollment? How are we doing at each school for enrollment in this?
Well, our project has our degrees programs haven't started yet.
Okay.
So we're aiming for the middle to end of 2026.
Okay, so it's coming soon.
Coming soon. Yep.
What about Hudson County?
So we started, oh wow, we're already in November. So we
flies.
started in October.
All right.
So to back up a little, so our certificate program is intentionally a short program.
Okay.
So it is a month. Students come on Saturday and Sunday for 3 hours. And that's because we're looking at an audience that may be professionals. So, we do have students that we try to recruit out of our credit programs.
Right.
But our primary audience is folks who are out in the workforce and they're working. And so, Monday to Friday may not work for them.
Right.
So they're able to come in on the weekends, take this intense course, again, 3 hours, Saturday and Sunday. But at the end of 4 weeks, they have something that they can show their employer
Right.
that says, hey, I have a particular set of skills.
That's great.
So we started offering it in October. We have one section that's running. It is a what we call a remote section, online section, where It is synchronous, meaning that they log in on their computer, but they interact with their professor in real time.
Okay.
So the professor is teaching the class, it's just the students are not in a classroom in person.
Yeah.
And so this initial cohort of students, all of them are professionals. And so, they've started, they'll finish in November, and then we're gonna look to offer a secondary cohort where hopefully we'll have more students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I mentioned this is called a GIS Pathways Project. And Claire, I think you had mentioned Camden County College was involved. Is there another school involved?
Also Sussex.
Sussex County.
Sussex as well.
So it's great to have these kind of 4 colleges really kind of all over the state doing this. Well, and just in closing, what kind of jobs can folks get out of this? These are like family providing jobs, are they not?
Yes.
Okay.
So any GIS specialist or GIS analyst jobs, those would be the main job title. And then there's an umbrella of other jobs that are associated where GIS is a component of them.
Right. And do you feel half the battle is kind of making students aware that this is a possibility for them?
Yeah. Yes.
And what's the reaction generally?
Excited.
They're excited.
Very excited.
And some are surprised. And again, just the ability to upskill,
Right.
the ability to tell students that, this may help you in either in your job search or in your current job, depending on what you're looking to do.
Right.
Being able to have these skills, and that's sort of the whole goal of the NJ Pathways project is preparing students with the correct skills to enter into the workforce.
Yeah, very good. All right, Burl, New Jersey Pathways has been an incredible initiative. People want to learn more about it, you're going to go to njpathways.org. Claire, Condie, Burl, Yearwood, thank you so much for joining us today and talking all things GIS.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be back right after these words.
Did you know our energy efficiency advisors can help you apply for rebates and other valuable incentives on your next energy efficiency project?
Believe it. For more, connect at bizsaid.pseg.com, your trusted partner in energy efficiency.
Welcome back to NJBIA is Mind Your Business as we bring you highlights from a recently held NJBIA press conference detailing an economic impact study for the Bayway Industrial Complex in Linden. And as you'll see here, the enormous $21.3 billion in statewide output from the companies at Bayway is only a portion of their overall economic story. Have a look.
I'm proud to represent this industry and highlight its contributions to New Jersey and the broader region. The Bayway Industrial Complex, for those who are less familiar, has been a center for energy and chemical production for over 116 years in this footprint. Over time, it has developed into a vital economic driver for both New Jersey and the broader Northeast region. The interdependency is central to the complex maintaining reliable operations and delivering significant economic benefit to the state and to the county and to the region. While our focus today is on the significant economic benefits of the complex, these achievements are only possible by the men and women who work within these companies and within the facility and their 24/7 dedication to the jobs that they have committed to. They're not only your neighbors, they're your friends, they're your family and your extended family. And we need to be aware of where they work and what they do for our communities.
So we're here today to present the results of an economic impact analysis that was conducted by NJBIA with our research partner at NJIT of the companies that were presented: Phillips 66, Infinium, Nextpera, Linden Cogeneration, and Sunoco, all co-located at this amazing facility where we find ourselves today. And the why, people say, well, why do this? Why do we need to tell this story today? And Don did a great job, most importantly, about the people. But for starters, consider also the innovation that takes place here each and every day. At NJBIA, we have a vision, right? We're a typical organization: vision, mission, values, all that great stuff, right? But at the top's the vision, and the vision is something that's bigger than just us alone as an organization. The vision is that New Jersey reclaims its stature as the innovation state. What a great example that is as we stand here today. We want to be known as the innovation state, and the innovation going on here: safe refining, chemical manufacturing, power generation, environmental services, and fuel logistics. It doesn't get any better than that, and it happens right here where we stand today. So the industrial complex is a substantial contributor to our overall economy, generating $21.3 billion in total statewide output, nearly $7 billion of the state's gross state product. Just think about these numbers. That's nearly 1% of New Jersey's entire state economy. Let that settle for a minute. That's right. We are celebrating today, so let's do some cheering, right? The complex supports 12,091 jobs statewide, which generates $1.2 billion in labor income annually. Over 12,000 jobs and $1.2 billion in labor income annually. The complex is associated with approximately $1.2 billion annually in federal, state, and local tax revenues for 2023, including $507 million in state and local taxes. Now, that recurring revenue stream makes the site relevant and significant in fiscal planning for the state, because any change to the operations will affect that number that will impact New Jersey's economy directly, and therefore should be at the center of the discussion when we talk about public budgets at each level of government. Let's talk about capital investment. In 2023, the companies at this site invested approximately $124 million in capital projects, including facility upgrades, environmental technologies such as emissions recovery, and hydrogen co-firing. These investments contribute to construction and supplier activity in the short term while shaping the longer-term technology adoption and regulatory compliance that the state needs. The study also finds the complex provides more than half of New Jersey's refining capacity and plays a role in fuel supply for the broader Northeast corridor. So not just New Jersey, but the Northeast corridor as well. So now we talk about their dependence on pipelines, energy systems, and transportation infrastructure, which underscores the importance of maintaining resilient infrastructure to support the state and our regional energy needs. This is significant at a time that we're talking about our crisis at energy here in the state of New Jersey, and what are some of the real solutions in order to ensure accessibility and affordability. And you can rest assured that NJBIA, where we are in the halls of the State House each and every day, will have a copy of that report, its top-line results, to remind our policymakers every day of the impact of what happens here in Linden.
And today's economic impact analysis by NJBIA and NJIT confirms what we already know to be true, that this facility is a massive economic driver for our state and for our economy. It's everywhere. And everybody here understands that we're facing the greatest energy demand in generations. We need energy, we need more of it to power our homes, our businesses, and our factories. We also need it to drive our next wave of innovation so that the United States can lead the world in AI, advanced computing, and the next generation manufacturing. This report makes clear that facilities like Bayway are critical to keeping this New Jersey at the forefront of innovation. This site supports thousands of jobs. It fuels research and development for tomorrow's energy technologies and provides dependable, balanced baseload power that we urgently need.
So I want to make sure that they know that I'm one of the many legislators, as long as also with Brian Bergen too, we're fighting for you down in Trenton to make sure that operations like here at Bayview have a future, have a strong future. We understand not only the historical significance, but the fact that you have What you have here is what's going to bring us into the future safely, efficiently, and it's really necessary that we do everything we can to stick up for you. So I'm here on behalf of myself, Jerry Schaffenberger, and Declan O'Scanlan, your senator. We're going to make sure that whatever goes down in Trenton, we're going to protect Bayview from any restrictions, any regulations that would constrict the work you're doing.
Let's talk about jobs and money. That's why we're here today. We're here to talk about supporting this facility because they provide jobs and money. Without facilities like this providing good jobs, I came in just in time to hear the mayor talking about how he used to work here and how he was making a pretty good salary. And that's what it's about. Let's face it. Business, there's a symbiotic relationship between government, the community, and businesses. Many times people want to try and say there's a conflict between the community and business, but that's not really the way it is. Business needs workers. They need government to provide good what's the word I'm looking for? Less regulation, perhaps. And they need government to kind of put together the guidelines that protect the businesses and the community. And that's why we're here today to talk about supporting this facility as they continue to provide thousands of jobs for this community and also provide gas for our cars. Because let's face it, as I think the mayor said, we are a long way from being all electric. There's a number of things that have to happen first, which means we still need this industry. We need it to be strong. And that's why I'm here, to provide support for the industry and the communities that it supports.
So I grew up in Brooklyn, and I joined the company in April of 1999, 3 years after graduating high school, as an administrative assistant. This was an incredible opportunity for me because college wasn't an option due to my parents' significant financial constraints. The career and the life that this complex has provided me is something I never imagined on my first day. Back then, I didn't know much about the energy business. I was simply happy to have health insurance and a consistent paycheck. Over the years, I've held several administrative roles, the last one supporting our VP, Don Susanen. And last year, I had the absolute privilege of being promoted to our public affairs advisor. I never imagined that opportunity at 21 years old when I was hired. This company has given me such a rewarding career, not just in terms of titles or pay, but in growth, in purpose, and confidence. Every role I've held taught me something new and prepared me for the next step. I've had mentors who believed in me, leaders who challenged me, and a team that supported me through every transition. Phillips 66 didn't just give me a job. It gave me a platform to learn, to contribute, and to make an impact. That sense of belonging and development is something I value deeply. Personally, after spending most of my adult life as a renter, I was able to buy my first home 10 years ago, a milestone that represented stability and independence. That achievement wasn't just about owning property. It was about realizing a dream I never thought was possible when I was hired all those years ago. I understand the benefits and how impactful this industrial complex is for New Jersey. But for me, just a girl from Brooklyn, its impact goes far beyond numbers. It has provided me with opportunities and shaped my life in ways I could never imagine.
Okay, so I'm no stranger to the oil refinery, and it's been very good to me. My friends couldn't believe how much money I was making at 16 years old. It was a very good job I had here. So I'm very thankful for what this refinery has done and what the industry in this town has done for me and my family and this town. You know, and there's been a lot of concern about the oil industry going away. Well, that's not going to happen. If you shut down every combustible engine in the world, you're still going to need oil because there's so many other byproducts that oil is used for. And it would be incumbent upon, and I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here, upon the oil industry to make sure that they leverage their finances into new industries. And I'm sure you're doing that. I'm probably preaching to the choir again. I'm sure that all the emerging technologies, you guys have your hands in it and you're investing in it. So when we do pair it back with the combustible engines, there'll be something else. So I say long live oil, long live Linden. And again, we are one family in one town who has benefited tremendously from this industry.
All right, thanks to Phillips 66 and all the participants at the Bayway Industrial Complex in Linden for joining us. And thank you for joining us on NJBI is Minding Your Business. We'll see you next time.